blank songs, etc., you know what, into ghosts, as a swarm of mouths, while and we were redistributed of golden springing speech, bells and rags. Inside this arc of fist, we alphabetic insomniacs, in as how old are you, my scratching splinter, as in a spore heaven, who here can speak, and in what flickers of ancient power, reference you are crows, days, okay, have the city, or live in it like it was eating us, we bottomless trivials, as bang. And our musical duty, like right inside it, it's flutter, bliss, as in X landscape is thighs, okay, forget that, our cells and sections in no underwear, biting, and when I was a country girl, a system town as blow flatter, oh shit, like sorry about, and are you, my adjustment, the aged parent, so softly, our non-existent whimpers eclipse, movement, blast. And the cuckoo, as in our ring of stilettos, its place in the song by now, pure cosmosis, nouns rearranged at the border, thin diagrams, spinning metal. I've played cards in England, I've played I'll bet you $10 here in 1917, it's caudal flex, it's thin metal spheres. And the crossroads, yeah, in any case, what we, now, just kidding, yeah, we're never obliged in the enemy language, not what, daren't say, as blocked season, or else a quarter of perdition, or then there's clean and simple numbers, yeah, gardens is what, or else, or necessary to lie, our slick and delicate sphere, we middle class, leaking. Or so, that we pulled up our petticoats, entirely zombie, and so revolving drunkenness, etc., my gold, my winding sheet, give it, but then again as bruising, and the border is where what, we three pretty maids are, where dreamt to dream and troubled in my head, as in my cosmetic knot, my stranger, I used to whip him with a, where we were the description, my petticoat, but not now, so, hello, we are your life, stop. Now it is March the 18th, and we are a syllable, like a non-frequency. Our twists and circles, that is the Gypsy Davy. Stop. 71 comments. We are your octave. Not zombies, sirens. That is obsolete music. 1871, March, choke. So I've been in the pen with the rough and rowdy echoes, letters and notes, musical ones. 10,000 were drowned that never were born. That is registered that via export of capital, understood as the dead encircle us. In a sense was a mole in the ground. No, sorry, I mean a census. I mean the police computer, a centre of gravity irradiated. Meanwhile, we were documentaries, a code made of letters, like unaroused by official culture. For some reason, it was 1649. We were trapped inside it, clutching our most reasonable point of view. I can't say more. Vast territories of our singing selves, decommissioned. Maybe it was 2003 or something, I don't remember. My favourite laws were just a system of false brains. I recognise that. Splintered and oblique, social utterance, flaming malevolence, magnetic, would soon go dancing, etc. Our minds are clean and pleasant. Bliss. Listen, we are your friends. Blank. Gliding like magazines, we, inside each nation's serenity, sitting near you on the bus, totally harmless characters, strange and flattering numbers, seriously trickling inside what we once were, we, esoteric in panic, swifter than birds, in our social role, objects. Objects, tobacco and brandy, or something truly ridiculous, class struggle in poetry also, yawn. Its contagion is spread via rhymesters, their embers, their swarms of bone, not zombies, sirens, crisscross, a fraudulent, a map of what? Got an art council grant. We'll burn their houses down, yawn. Everyone's been buried alive. Objects of the future, who we're speaking to. Well, there is no future, so like tough shit. But still, your shadows, still they block us, are still eating us. Even inside the poem, it's rowdy echoes. We are drowned inside sirens, as I was saying, or, of course, the law, our ruins, our octaves, you speaking in them. Anyway, eclipse, as I was, although we live in the city, so they wouldn't arrest us. Their astrology, starkly inside us, it was a contested era of justification. They could not arrest their threads and names. Anyway, I owe this reference to certain international events, certain conformities. It was 1974, a ballad recalls, that life which once I had by law is now controlled. Yeah. It was a contested area. moderation, NGOs, etc. Listen, rather than suck and with a turquoise chain, like what is public knowledge is whack, we were citizens of listen, a supreme vodka, merely the value that sirens, as in commerce, and we encircled as law is anything or nothing, is bended by and like a twig. Like a twig, the official position and indigenization, or what within US imperialism gets as in absolute antagonist, or the absence of the dead as in an irradiant my true love. As I was saying, we were buying weapons, as in living standards, down to the drugstore, or because we don't exist, or because we are letters, recent eruptions of unmeaning, because, like I was my true love, according to the dubious tradition of weirdos and scroungers, whoa, my face in there, my feet burning from me. This, I don't know, kind of happened, and predictably edited here inside World History Noises, Brain Snap. Anyway, this has been a story. They say they were singing, but how we know that? The doors and windows, burning and secure, enter the language, and no meanings swarm into complicity, etc. So when the weary smoke began to rise, likewise the boiling heat, of course, has been an exile. Totality is no meaning swarm, and who here can speak the language of the dead emerges from music and professionals, princesses, etc. Fumes, narrative, golden bands, your necks, etc., including Below the World, Lenin. But here in socialist realism, it's musical ferrotypes, it's reversal narratives, it's, as in London where we dwell, is a burning we know full well. It's ancient transpositions, those noises flaming in birds, notes we were squealing in, cuckoos and birds, as in the alphabet's bandits. It's centrifugal windows, cells, sections, groups, its official parents broken, posterity, landlord, spheres, swarms, job search, wind, wow, laws, eclipse, reverie, slaves, magnetic scholar thinks, oh millivolt, oh globe, this is a flashing like, we are ringing geometrics, a tame and trickling noise, curfew, playback disc, singing like violence, my true love, my black and speechless bone. Nah, just kidding, with fire and we noises, it is still 11:58. We are not gravity, not flowers, but filled with cars and burning pearls. Hello, it is 1979, or dogs, insert frightened persons, or the average landlord, insert Woolworths, and on the gallows tree, yeah, dogs were bound in iron bands. Or the split territories of example, from the narrative fumes of anyway, as I was saying, because this cosmology is a hyena and a vodka, it's and shrike. Here in the multiplex we are your dutiful cities. So this is a documentary. Several glittering taxpayers, an entire string section. We are speaking quite clearly. We ripped your bellies out. This lecture was brought to you by Typical Silence and Gold. It is, you know, like a hyphen. I've robbed your poor anyway in 1649, your poor pockets, not alphabets, physios. Yeah, I know, broken, your silver and gold. On Sundays often stroll to have their fortune. This lecture has been in these wild deserts. Weirds had warped us, so we closed. We are inside your opinions. Your membranes flashing. We are compliant and broken. We are gardens of silence, the dead so politely in our petticoats, in our ballads of got the devil in my soul, and I'm full of bad booze. The stillness, such sparkling flight, history is those who the seagulls, the... Anyway, now we were centuries, sort of had faces. We encircled dreamless, muted decibels, our treaties, the visible. We scratched our faces off, our references, lines of credit. A kind of glow remains, a kind of dignified singing, blank. Meanwhile, in the drugstore, blank. We are your border, bright and inaudible. Cheers.